This is a new episode of Novi Talks. My name is Bilal and I'm with
Ropa.
So nice seeing you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm very humble to be here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to basically speak about why Dubai, and Ropa is going to tell us her background from Manchester.
Yeah.
And Manchester. And we're gonna discover your whole background. We're here basically to understand, Ropa, why are you in Dubai?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for this conversation. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much. And I mean, thank you, Novi, for having me. So I mean, honestly, it's such a pleasure to be here. I think there's always a lot to share in terms of experiences. There's a lot of expats in Dubai. So everyone has a story to tell. So not just me, I genuinely feel like even you have a story, everyone has a story.
Tell us about you a little bit.
Cool. So
where are you from?
Background wise, I'm actually from Zimbabwe, but I moved to the UK when I was 8, and then I moved out of the UK to Dubai 6 months ago when I was actually 24. So for me, it's been quite an experience because I've spent over half of my life in the UK, so it's something that I'm very much accustomed to. And so having to kind of pack everything and leave and move over to Dubai, it was a very big shift for me. Honestly, I never really saw myself as someone that would actually have the guts to get up and leave, especially like my family, my friends. And I remember when people used to ask me, like, you know, would you ever move somewhere? Would you want to settle down somewhere? I used to be like, no, I'm too comfortable where I am.
know, right?
I used to be like, no, I'm good where I am. So I think for me, it was even a shock for myself to see that I've actually managed to do it, and I'm actually doing it. And, you know, every day I'm like, oh, okay, today's another day. And I think the longer I stay here, the more it's getting a lot more comfortable for me to be like, okay, I'm doing it. And yeah, I'm glad I'm here. In terms of working background, so before I moved over,
I don't want to cut you off and stuff, but I'm intrigued because of what you just say, because you look full of energy and stuff. You feel like a family person.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to like leave everything behind you, what did it took for you to like leave your comfort zone, this sort of comfort zone? Because you were comfortable with your family.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah, I was very comfortable. But yeah, it goes on to what I was saying in terms of like career-wise. I would consider myself someone that's very ambitious. I am quite ambitious. I'm not usually too vocal about it, but I think it's something that deep down I know that I'm very ambitious. So in terms of working-wise, I was in finance before I left. I was a credit analyst at a bank. And then honestly, I kind of just felt like I was stagnant. Like things weren't really moving. Like, yeah, I was working, I was earning, but I kind of just felt like, nah, I can do better. Like there's something more. So literally, I remember I literally left my job as of 2024. So April 2024, I left my job and I was like, okay, cool, what's next? And prior to that, I'd been wanting to do real estate, but I just didn't know how to go about it. I'd applied in the UK, but again, the commission structure and everything else, it just wasn't as appealing to me.
So you started real estate in Dubai?
Yeah.
So you came from a financial background?
Yeah.
And you decided to jump in real estate in Dubai?
Exactly. Literally that. And honestly, I think for me, it was more like, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to do the work thing, obviously, you have to work. But if I'm going to work, I at least want to do something that I enjoy.
100%.
So in the UK, I was working as a viewers agent. So I would just do viewings. And that interaction with different people made me realize, actually, I enjoy this. So meeting different people. I remember at the time I was meeting a lot of people from like Hong Kong, expats that were moving to the UK to invest in the UK. And I really genuinely enjoyed it. I think, obviously, the thing about real estate, you have to be a people person. And for a while,
100%.
I didn't think, you know, I was a people person, but I think that job kind of allowed me to tap into that and see that there's more to me than just working from home, because I was actually remotely working for 2.5 years. And I think that kind of took a toll on my social skills as well. So I just wanted to be back out there. So yeah, and then I thought, you know, what's next for me? And I remember one day I just thought like, why don't you just try and move to Dubai? Or like, just look into Dubai real estate. And I remember I started looking into Dubai real estate. And then all of a sudden, the more I researched, the more my algorithm started to change, like my LinkedIn. So I was starting to see more companies and stuff like that. Started applying. And then, yeah, before you know it, I was here at Novi.
What, like, for example, you told me at your job it was stagnant. Was it money-wise, or was it in terms of how it was moving? Was it not enough? Like,
no, I wouldn't say it was money. I think for me, it was, I know myself in terms of I'm someone that's quite bubbly. I'm very, like, I would say I'm quite approachable. But
was it the weather?
We'll get into that one. But yeah, of course. But in terms of that in that part of my life, I kind of just felt like I've been doing the same thing. I remember I mentioned to you about I was remote working.
Yeah.
Initially, remote working was fun because you don't have to go to the office, you get to save. But after a while, you become stagnant. Like in terms of there's no progression, not in the job itself, but in terms of like you yourself. The only people I was really around was my family, my friends. So I kind of felt like every time I was around a new batch of people, I was a little bit socially awkward. So I thought, this is not me. So again, that's why I took on that job on the side to start doing as a viewers agent, because it allowed me to meet different people. And ever since then, it's something that I've kind of had to unlearn because of being obviously working from home for a while. I had to unlearn that social anxiety or whatever I developed during that stage. So it was mainly that as well. So that was something that kind of pushed me to be like, you know what, I need to do something more. I don't want to be someone that's socially awkward. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to speak to people. Yeah, and now honestly, I'm more than comfortable to speaking to strangers. So it's something I'm very happy with.
Do you think it's because Dubai is such a young city and developing itself and booming that much that you have like so much interaction with people, so much people intrigued to make money or connections? Because for example, myself, I'm from Canada, right? I've been doing commercial real estate. I've been doing residential real estate. I've even been general contractor.
Yeah.
And I feel like I never in my whole life been in a city as Dubai moving that much in terms of opportunities.
Yeah, I think honestly for me, I didn't see it like that, funny enough. So
Okay.
I actually came to Dubai for a girls' holiday in 2023. And it's funny because when I
That's
left...
how it starts, see?
That's how it starts, literally. But for me, when I left, I wasn't like, oh my God, I want to move back to Dubai. No, like I just saw it as like, okay, I've been there, done that. I've done the holiday. It was fun. But I didn't know that literally a year later, I'll be living here. And it wasn't really in the plan for me as well. It wasn't, you know how usually people look into Dubai and think, okay, it's an opportunity. Da, da, da. For me, it wasn't really like that. I kind of feel like the opportunity just kind of represented itself, because when I was leaving from the girls' holiday, I got a free ticket, complimentary ticket to come back to Dubai because there were some issues at the airport. So I think that was kind of like an open door. So initially I decided, okay, maybe I can work my finance job in Dubai remotely. Or I can try something new. So I feel like that ticket kind of opened the door for me in terms of, okay, what can I do with this ticket? And I didn't just want it to be another holiday because again, I'd done it already. So I wanted to kind of maximize, the ticket and see what can I actually do? How can I leverage this? So, and I think honestly, it worked. And I think if I didn't have the ticket, I probably would have been as open to that idea of it. But yeah, that was just like an open door for me.
But you went to a whole nother background, right? As real estate, but still you understand the finance, and it's all about understanding where you're putting your money.
Yeah.
It's still similar, but
Yeah.
still something new for you, right? A new city, a new work,
Yeah.
a new work surrounding,
Exactly.
a new way of thinking. It had to be overwhelming at the start.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, it took me some time to kind of settle in and to get into like the grips of things. But I do feel like Dubai is one of those places. You know how it is. Once you get your Emirates ID, life becomes smooth. Without your Emirates ID, like it kind of just feels like things aren't moving. It kind of feels like, when am I going to start selling in? But obviously your Emirates ID, that's your key to like bank cards, literally long-term rental.
fresh start.
Literally, that's what allows you to kind of be like the residents in Dubai, open bank accounts and do all of those things. So I think until you get your Emirates ID, you can't really get comfortable or you can't really feel settled. So yeah, that was really...
Because you're not there yet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to prove yourself, invest, or find a place to work, because you could stay those 90 days, right? Depending on where you're coming from, by the way.
Exactly.
But as in Canada, people could come for 90 days, see around how it looks. Obviously, it could be expensive in Airbnbs, but you have different ways of finding a place to work depending on your field. You have to make your research. You can't come just like that. You didn't get lucky, but it was fate. It was meant to be, right? And
I'd say it was God, but cool.
all right.
Yeah, I would say it was God. Honestly, I do feel like that also has like a part to play. So yeah, I would definitely say that. Yeah, maybe part of luck, but obviously a lot of prayer and fasting as well.
And there's so many projects, there's so many things happening in Dubai. Now you're working at District 1, right?
Yeah.
That's your specialty, right? That's where you work, that's where you understand the area and stuff. But before finding your area, was it hard to understand Dubai? How did you get and saying to yourself, man, District 1 is the place I want to work?
So I actually started off with Dubai Hills.
Okay.
So I done Dubai Hills for like 2 days. Literally.
2 days?
Yeah, I done Dubai Hills for like 2 days. And I think for me, obviously I remember like my manager saying to me, okay, this is what so when you come, you're going to have to pick an area to specialize in. And I remember at first he was pushing the palm and I was like, the palm, I don't know what it was. I kind of just thought, yeah. But then I just thought,
it's an emblem for Dubai. Everyone that's coming from outside thinks about the palm.
Exactly.
The biggest man island made, right?
Exactly, 100%. So I think, I mean, the idea of the palm, the palm is amazing. We're on the palm now. So I feel like the palm is absolutely amazing.
Look at the view. It's
literally. But incredible. I think the thing, I don't know what it was about the palm. It just wasn't something that was really it didn't really draw to me that much.
Okay.
And then I done Dubai Hills because I thought maybe it's best for me to start in a community. If I can learn a community, there's only so much in the community, right? And I think it will be a lot easier than trying to learn like an open space like the Palm, the Marina. So I thought, okay, let me start with Dubai Hills. And then someone actually came up to me and she was like, oh, how come you're doing Dubai Hills? Why don't you try District 1? And I didn't even know about District 1 at the time. I was like, okay, let me look into this, see what District 1 is. And what I liked about District 1 is that it was a smaller community, so there's still room to grow. And I think for me, that was the main thing. Obviously, looking at my long-term goals for real estate and Dubai, I have to be in a community that still has so much potential in terms of growth. And I think Meydan as a whole, District 1, there's still so much growth to be done. Obviously, right now, it's a little bit more, I don't want to say slow, but there's a lot coming, right? There's Districts 1 West, there's the Naya residences that's coming, all of these things. But all of these things are going to shape Meydan, and they're going to shape the future investments of Meydan. So yeah, that's kind of why I chose the area. I didn't really want to choose something that's already developed.
100%.
And, it's kind of oversaturated, as I say, with agents. I kind of just wanted to choose something where there's still room for everyone to grow. So
100%, because I feel like a lot of people see the community that's already built.
Yeah.
But the reality, the real money is made where community are coming, projects are
100%.
Coming around.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
For example, there's Dubai Land, Dubai Island, and Meydan, like you said. There's so many room of growth. Like, I felt honestly, we spoken about this yesterday. I felt like I arrived. I've been there only 2 months, right? And I felt like I arrived in Dubai late. I always thought that, oh my God, I should have been there like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years. But now, by looking at everything that's coming, the best is yet to come.
100%. And I think, honestly, even me, funny, and I think no matter when you start, I think you always question the time that you started. You always think, should I have done this sooner? But I genuinely feel like with the way that Dubai is going, at the rate that it's going at, as long as the demand is there, there's never like a perfect time to start. You can start anytime and it's still the best time. Like for example, like what we were saying, you can walk out and there's construction there. There's construction. There's literally so much going on in the city. It's so vibrant, it's so lively that there's so much going on. There's so much opportunity. So when it comes to have I started late, should I have started around lockdown? I don't think so, because honestly, I think now is the best time to start.
100%.
Literally, as long as the demand is there, the supply that you can see, like there's construction everywhere, it will always be a good time.
And for example, have you, for example, in the UK, in Manchester, for example, have you seen this much construction or this much of projects around?
No.
Like, if, for example, you're in Manchester and you turn your head, how many projects did you see during the day?
I mean, obviously, in terms of numbers, I can't really say, but
approximately, like approximately.
Okay, let's say if you go to like the main city centre, in one space you'll probably see, I don't know, maybe 3, 4.
Okay.
And that will probably be uni accommodation.
And in Dubai.
Oh. Yeah, let's not even get, especially places
Let's
like
just say District 1.
District 1.
Everywhere you turn your head,
there's everything. There's literally so much going on. There's Districts 1 West, as soon as you're coming into Districts 1, and then there's the lagoon views by the entrance. There's a phase going on the right. There's so much going on. Honestly, there's a lot going on. In terms of growth, the growth is literally there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I have a question for you. What type of person do you see moving, this type of persona that you see moving in Dubai and letting everything behind him? What kind of person is like saying to itself, I need to change my life, I need to change my career, I need something new, and is built for it?
Oh, okay. So I would say first of all, you have to have some sort of zeal, like some sort of passion, right? Honestly, it's not easy to get up and leave. I don't think it's that easy. I think some people can do it to just be like, okay, like I'm leaving my life behind, but then it's like you're entering into the unknown. You know, I think the thing about Dubai is people think that it's just a party holiday. Like it's generally not. Obviously, when you come here on like a girls trip or whatnot, it's fun, it's vibrant, but Dubai is literally what you make it. There's so many opportunities, so you have to come here with the mind frame that, okay, what can I do to maximize my time here? What can I do to leverage the opportunities that I have? And I think if you're not kind of coming with that mindset, you've kind of lost it, because the thing about Dubai is whoever you're speaking to, you have to be an open book, because you don't know that every conversation is an opportunity. So every person that you're speaking to is an opportunity. So you can't be someone that's quite closed off, you're just to yourself. Otherwise, you're not really leveraging the opportunities that are there.
100%.
So you have to be someone that's fully open. You have to be open to the idea of people, and that's something that I literally scream on the top of my lungs about now. Like, honestly, talk to every stranger that you can, because you just don't know who you're speaking to.
100%.
You don't know that the door that they can open for you, and you don't know who they're going to refer you to, and all these amazing things. So I think
we're 90% of expats. So
Yeah.
90% of people came here to make money or something out of their lives.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy. That's a huge stat.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
And
totally agree.
I'll ask you another question. We have brokers that are saying that they're selling secondary. There's people that are selling also off plan. For you, what is Dubai? Is Dubai a city of secondary market, market in terms of, or off plan market?
I would say, okay, I'm going to say both.
Okay.
Mainly off plan. Obviously, even the secondaries, they started off as off plan at some point. So I'll definitely say mainly off plan. But in the direction that it's moving, definitely off plan, because I think the off plan is so flexible that you might not have that much money, but you can still invest in something. And I love how they've kind of structured it so that you don't have to be a millionaire to invest in Dubai. You don't have to be a billionaire. Any like average person can literally invest in Dubai, and I think that's a good thing. So yeah, I think honestly off plan, because of the payment plans that they have. Some
No interest. Payment plans without interest.
No interest, no tax. So they've made it so flexible, and to the point where anyone can invest in Dubai. So I definitely think more off plan. Obviously secondary, by the time you get to secondary, it's either two options. You're either buying it cash or you're buying it mortgage. So if it's not one of those two, there's not really that much flexibility. But of course, off plan. So I'll definitely say mainly towards off plan.
For people that are watching us for the first time, off plan is basically new properties in a new community, or not necessarily a new community, it's a new constructions. And secondary is basically in second hand.
Yeah.
So it's handed over after, once it's handed over from the developer, it's the sell afterwards. That's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll ask you the same question. What do you think is kind of like driving Dubai at the moment?
Off plan. 100% off plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no afterwards. You end up with the secondary because it gets old. It's the only option. But the thing is how fast Dubai is moving, how fast new communities are getting built.
Yeah.
I would only put my money in offline. I'm straightforward on that. The thing that's complicated is there's so many projects.
Yeah.
And if you're not surrounded with the proper broker or the proper person to filter it,
Yeah.
you'll end up not losing money, because to be honest, you have a new community now around. You won't lose money, but you will probably not get what you thought you would get in terms of material, in terms of maintenance. Because for example, the first thing that shocked me when I was working downtown is the address downtown, because the administration is basically handled by the hotel. So people living in the whole building is basically getting the service of a hotel. So it's hard to compete, right? It's hard to compete.
Yeah.
But there's certain developers that do.
Yeah.
And it's knowing what you want and having someone that understands what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
That's basically it.
110%. I totally agree. The reason I pulled out my phone is because I also have a question for you.
Of course.
Obviously, I think it's quite interesting to know what's something about Dubai that people don't understand until they live here.
Honestly, I truly think that people think that just being in Dubai, life is getting handed over. that you're gonna get money, that you just need to work hard blindly and you're gonna get it. Well, it's actually not true. If you don't understand your surroundings, if you don't understand yourself and knowing what community will work with you or whom is going to be going to work with you, it could get hard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think. I think people are having a hard time understanding Dubai because it's completely different of other countries, because
Yeah.
in other countries you don't have 90% of expatriate coming from all around the world.
So
we
true.
have different communities,
Yeah.
different perception, different way of thinking, and you have to respect all of them to be able to keep doing business with them. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even just to go back on what you said, it's literally what I mentioned earlier about like people have this misconception about Dubai that is kind of just like a place where there's so many rich people,
Yeah.
and it's like everyone has so much money, and for example, let's say like it's just like a party place, and it's like no, there's actually more to Dubai than that. And honestly, it's genuinely not that. Like I said before, I think Dubai is literally what you make it. So when it comes to like misconceptions, it's not just a party place where you come, you enjoy the yachts and you
Hey,
the sun.
it's a party place. It's right.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, when you end up finishing this party, you probably wake up the next day 6 o'clock in the morning to get back to work
Yeah.
because you want to maintain this
Yeah,
lifestyle,
100%.
right?
Honestly, I think even another thing that's not talked about enough, Dubai is expensive. Like
It is.
it's honestly like yeah.
It is.
Yeah, honestly, I'll let you finish that one off. Honestly, but Dubai,
Yeah,
it's expensive.
it's expensive. There's two types. It could be expensive for someone that wants to try to show off or trying to live a lifestyle that he can.
Exactly.
If you understand that you're building yourself and you stay humble and you understand that you have to, for example, in terms of rentals, you rent a unit, you say, okay, I'm gonna start with a small studio, well placed, to be able to speak with people, not too expensive, no need for the view. You understand levels, right? And often people think that they need like to start with a penthouse to feel the Dubai lifestyle. They need to go to brunches every weekends. And the thing, it gets expensive. And trying to maintain this lifestyle with people that already made it, it's complicated. Like I said, in Dubai, you can't try to flex or act something that you're not for long.
Yeah.
You end up getting broke.
You can't compete. You can't. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing. I think one thing about, you asked me before about what sort of mindset or what sort of person, you have to be tunnel vision on your own goals, by the way.
Yes.
You have to be your own competition, because the moment you
Yes.
try to be
Oh,
swayed,
preach. No, I like that one. You have to be your own
you have to
competition,
be your own
100%.
competition. The moment you try match somebody else,
Yeah.
you've lost it, because you can't compete here. You can't compete. There's somebody that's better than you in some way,
Yeah.
one shape or another. So it's like if it's not you against you, and if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you've kind of lost it. Because honestly, even if, for example, let's say like cars, right? If you try to get a Ferrari, somebody else has a
Bugatti,
literally. If you try to get a Maserati, somebody else has a
McLaren.
Exactly. I feel like you can't try and compete here, because there's somebody doing more than you are. So it literally has to be you against you. And I think
Yeah.
that's something that you have to kind of meditate on every single day, to be like, okay, cool, I'm not in competition with anyone. Because the moment you try to compete, you kind of lose yourself, because you're trying to
100%.
chase a lifestyle that you can't really maintain. And it goes back to what we were saying before about how expensive it is. It's so expensive. So if you're trying to compete with someone that's completely not in your league, it's like, okay, work towards that, but don't try to do something too soon. And I think obviously the thing about Dubai is like, you can't be too pressured into doing things. Like, you have to be someone that's so grounded within
Yes.
yourself. Like, you can't let pressure, because
Yeah.
once you get pressured,
Because
yeah.
I feel like that's what people don't understand. It's not an easy place to stay.
It's not.
And every day you'll have bad news. You'll have good news, but you also have bad news.
Yeah.
And if you let the bad news interfere with your goals, you're never gonna make it.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna be stagnant.
Yeah, literally. Even bills, DUR.
Hey, it's part of the game, right?
It's literally part of
course.
it. Like, yes, I think honestly, it's one of them things. You have to be so tunnel vision. You have to be so fixated on your own goals. Otherwise, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
hard.
I have basically another question. You know me with my questions.
Go ahead.
So by saying how expensive it is, do you think, like, for example, being like, there's two person that we describe right now, two personas. There's the fake it until you make it, and the humble person that accept where he is and speaking with his common background. So basically, as of me, I'm 30 years old. I've been doing real estate. Yeah, I'm old.
Oh.
I'm 30 years old. I've been doing real estate for 8 years.
Okay.
I come here. I'm not trying to show that I'm making it already or stuff.
Yeah.
I'm starting. I'm fresh. I'm starting. Right now, all I'm getting is knowledge.
Yeah.
Every day I go to a new project. I understand it. I read about it. I search about it. I'm trying to accept that I'm at ground zero until I make it. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
All right. What? I'm not saying like I know I'm on that side,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't want. I really wanted to choose because there's some people that have this mindset that you have to fake it until you make it in Dubai. But I honestly feel like there's an expiry date on that one, and accepting your level by shaking hands and accepting where you are, people won't see. There's no fake about you, right? So I feel on my end, I feel like I'd rather know you, that you're real with me, than looking at, for example, someone coming with a Ferrari and the next day he takes the taxi. I'm like, what happened with your Ferrari? And he's like, yeah, we had some issue and stuff. Or for example, not able to pay the bill while we're going to somewhere that he invites me. So what type of person, like, we'll restructure it another time. So you have the fake it until you make it, or being humble and accepting where you are. Which of those personality you think could be successful in Dubai? Keep it that way.
Authentic.
Okay, why?
Because it literally goes back to what we said before. Like the moment you try to be something you're not, you can only lie for a certain amount of time. You can only pretend for a certain amount
There's
of
an
time. So
expiry date.
there's going to be a time where you're humbled. So you're going to have to go back.
Fast.
So that's why I say you have to be authentic, because if you're so real with yourself, only you know your actual circumstance. Only you know exactly your financial situation. So if you're trying to do something for show, and let's say that person moves out of Dubai, because Dubai is one of those places, like it's so fast paced, that it's like a transitional place that people come and go. And it's like the person that you're trying to show off to, they're no longer in Dubai.
Hey, that I was surprised, to be honest. That's you for me.
Exactly.
For example, like I said, I've been doing 8 years real estate in Canada.
Yeah.
And the same people you meet, maybe afterwards they stop doing real estate after a year.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah.
That's really the time frame. They say like the broker that's gonna stay in the game often need to hold it down for 3 years minimum.
Okay.
But in Dubai, I feel it's in months. Like after 2 months, people like stop.
It's tough. Honestly, I think it's tough. I think obviously it takes a certain mindset. I think it's honestly so hard. And that's not to say, like, when people leave real estate, it's not to say they didn't try. I don't think it's just one of those things that it's not really for everyone. It's literally a cross battle. Like you have to pick up kind of your own cross and literally carry it, because it's hard. It's honestly really, really hard. So it's probably not for everyone. And again, like even Dubai itself, it's expensive, right? Like it's a expensive lifestyle to maintain. But I had a question for you actually.
Go ahead.
Obviously, I'm interested to kind of know a little bit more about like Canadian, the market in real estate. Like what was that like? And obviously in comparison to Dubai, what do you think like Dubai offers that kind of doesn't, or vice versa? So what do you think is like the main differences in terms of that?
Properties were like doubling, literally. The increase of growth in terms of property value was maybe even better than Dubai in terms of prices. Like people were making money. The thing that happened is you were paying too much for what you were getting.
Okay, cool.
And you at the end you end up realizing it with time. And people, brokers and everything in Canada are still pushing it. And sometimes you see a property last year, no renovation, nothing, and they say like, yeah, now it's 80,000 more. Why is it 80,000 more? Because that's what it is. People are doing demand. We're doing multiple offer. And sometimes it's just because they just want the property. They just want to close the deal. So in Canada, you had a lot of demand. You have a lot of demand, which involved that the property that you're getting, you're paying too much for what you have.
Yeah.
And by having this, you realize by traveling, that you could have so many other things with less money, and you're trying to figure this out. And that's why I'm saying a lot of people that are DMing me are basically people that are like starting their portfolio in real estate.
Okay.
And they call me, for example, they say, look, duplex or triplexes. So here in Canada, a duplex is income property. So basically there's 2 units coming with a property revenue. So you're getting money out of it. You have tenants. For example, on duplex, it's not like a property with like two floors and that you live all around it.
So you have to kind of rent one out or something.
Exactly. You rent it as an investment. And people often, what they do is they live on the first floor and there's a rental income coming.
Okay.
So often that's what people do, and they say, should I do it in Canada? The thing is, like I told you, Canada and Dubai, the growth in terms of the property was actually really similar, because like it increased like 3 times the value and stuff at the same pace while the COVID happened. But the thing is, in Dubai, you don't get taxed. In Canada, the duplex is taking value. It's not a problem. It's good. But the issue is that because you're getting a income, you're getting taxed once you sell it.
Okay.
So even if it's your second property, it's worse. You're going to get fully taxed, and even on the income of the gain on property gain.
Yeah.
So yeah, Canada is good. Canada was interesting, but it went too high. It lost track because the demand was so high. It like the bubble popped.
Okay. Are they doing anything to kind of attract international investments? For example, obviously here in Dubai, like we could be here all day talking about like golden visas, obviously the tax-free, all of these things, ROIs within itself. But what, in terms of like Canada, what do you think they were kind of doing, or it was mainly for residents?
Right now, it's the opposite. Canada is trying to slow it down.
Okay.
Because we had too much people coming from overseas to basically buy in Canada.
So you think the demand was more than the supply?
Chinese was buying like properties cash, and people that were living in Montreal or in Canada, in Toronto, weren't able to have this sort of money. So you were living there, not being able to buy yourself a property, and you have those investors coming and being able to pay.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. So they're kind of trying to push. Okay, that's quite interesting.
We lost track.
Cool, that's interesting.
Question for you, because we're talking about investment and stuff.
Yeah.
If you had 500k USD, what would you do with it? As an investor, you're an investor. I give you 500k USD. It's a new portfolio. You're starting today.
500k. Well, first of all, let me do the maths. 500k.
Let's say 500k is.
Sorry, 2 million, right?
It's around 1.8 to 1.9, but let's say 2 million for the exercise. 2 million for the exercise.
550 USD. It works out
for 2 million. Yeah.
Honestly, for me, so I would. I don't know if this is the best investment, but I think for me, it's probably what makes the most sense. So I would probably. So if I had 2 million, I'll probably put $1 million into a ready unit. I'll probably put $1 million of it into a ready unit. In terms of area, I can't really say just yet. But obviously Dubai is kind of moving towards Dubai Land, Dubai South. So maybe somewhere there. Wrong. I'll probably put it in somewhere else, like, because I realized all of them are mainly just off-plan projects. So I'll probably put it in a ready unit, probably get like a 1-bed or studio. And then the other, I would put it into off-plan. I'll put it into off-plan, something that's coming up, maybe handover in the next 2-3 years. Obviously, you kind of have the leeway to obviously do the payment plans and stuff like that. So I think that's what I would do. What would you do with yours?
What I would do with me? Okay, you want the safe option or the crazy one? I'll do both. I'll do both. All right. Go ahead.
If you had, same question that you asked me, basically. If you had 550 USD, what would you do with it?
All right, so 2 million, right? 2 million AD. I would basically, all right, let's project it as an area that I like a lot. And for investors, it's accessible depending on your financing. It's pretty, honestly, it's good prices. It starts like around 255 USD. So I would go in Dubai Land.
Okay.
The safe option would be as simple as that. I would get 2 1-bedrooms. The 2 1-bedrooms start the 1-bedroom start approximately at let's say 1 million 80. So I get two one bedroom in a new community upcoming.
Okay.
So I'll buy two, and at the handover, before the handover, I would have flipped one of them
Okay.
to be able to, because I know that in the next until the handover, I'm getting guaranteed to get. Nothing is guaranteed in life, but I'm able to, as a number, to get at least 35 to 40% increase in terms of value of my units.
Yeah.
So I'm able to sell the other one to be able to pay the rest of the handover. So for example, I'm in a payment plan of 70-30. At least I'm guaranteed that once I pay the 70 on both, I'm able to pay with the 30% and getting my money back.
Yeah.
I have peace of mind. My unit is paid. I put it on rent. Next project.
Yeah.
Right?
So how many is that? How many? 2, you said?
That's two. That's the safe one.
Okay.
That's the safe one. That's the one,
Okay.
for example, I have peace of mind. And honestly, there's a lot of investors. It's a new country. You don't want to be stressed out. You want peace of mind, right? You want to be sure that where you're putting your money is an asset and not something that's going to destroy your whole life, right?
100%.
You want to be able to be financially free, not being in a cage for the next 3 years, right?
100%, definitely.
But if I'm able, now the crazy one, if I'm able to handle all the payment plans, 2 million is a leverage for $8 million AD in terms of real estate in Dubai land. All right,
Okay.
in Dubai, that's the whole
Okay.
2 million is 8 million leverage. But what I could get in Dubai land, we're talking, if we talk about the one bedroom, because studios start at around 689,000 AD. All right, but let's be safe again, because I could have said maybe 9 units, but let's
Yeah.
be safe. We say all the units are at approximately 850. All right, and you have to put a minimum of, to hold those units, you need to put a minimum percent of 20% plus the DLD tax 4%, so 24. So you could get at least, with the 2 million, you could get at least, for 8 million, you could get at least 8 units. That's a lot, but that's the numbers. You could look it out. So 8 units, and basically, if I'm able to pay the payment plans and handle the payment plan, I will do exactly it. Keep 4, flip 4.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely go for the safer option.
Obviously,
Yeah,
but think
but
about it. If you got the money, I'm not saying that.
definitely, yeah.
I'm not saying that if you only have 2 million AD, you put the 2 million.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
won't make sense.
Yeah, definitely.
If you put 2 million AD, it means you probably have 6 in your bank account,
Yeah.
because you have to be able to handle it. Right?
Yeah.
That's the most, because if you have 6 million in your bank account and you're putting 2 million, it means you're able to pay it all.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
It's just because you want your money to move and keep doing other stuff with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do. So there's the peace of mind and the crazy Hail Mary.
Yeah, honestly, I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. I'll probably go for the safer option. But yeah, it goes back to what we were saying before about like what's actually driving the infrastructure in Dubai, what's driving Dubai.
But that's exactly it. Why I've spoken about Dubai land is that you have nearby Silicon Valley, you have Academic City, that's a home for 25 universities.
Oh wow.
And you have also, they're also going to be, the goal is basically to attract 500 tech companies in the campus, in the different campus for the growth acceleration of the area. So if you're scared of putting your money or somewhere, that's why I decided to say the crazy one or the reassuring one, because if you put this money there, you're guaranteed to have the demand, because you have a lot of people that need to live there to be able to go to school, to go for work. So it's very interesting, to be honest. The future of Dubai is bright, and investors love to put their money where the future is, right?
Interesting. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna ask you. Well, I mean, this is your podcast. I'm the guest here, but I'm actually interested to know. Do you think your expectations of Dubai were met in terms of, like, what were your first impressions of Dubai? What you kind of expected? You know, did it kind of exceed the expectation? Did it match it? Was it below? Like, tell me more about that. Like, how was your, first impressions of Dubai?
At first, I was shocked. Like coming
Have
out.
you been to Dubai? To Dubai?
Never, 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 never. At
Let's
first,
tell you know. Let's go back a bit.
Okay.
You don't need the intro here. I want to know. Okay, tell me a little bit. Canada. Why? First of all,
okay, refresh
the
up.
upbringing. Yeah,
No, it's my turn.
Now
It's my
your
turn.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me a little bit about Canada. What was you doing before that? You know,
Okay.
job wise. Obviously, I know you said you were in real estate for 8 years, but
Yeah.
even before that, what were you doing? What made you move to Dubai, and obviously why Dubai as well?
Okay, let's be funny about it. My first job was at 16 years old, and it was McDonald's.
Oh my god, I used to work at McDonald's.
No way. No
I
way.
used to work at McDonald's.
No way. How long?
Humble beginnings.
Yeah. Humble beginnings. Wallah.
I was in McDonald's for I can't even remember. Is that long ago?
I stayed 6 months. And during the 6 months, I was there during Ramadan and I was working night shift.
Oh,
I was eating.
Okay, I think that would have been good. I'll probably say around the same. I can't remember. I want to say around 6 to 8 months. Yeah.
All right. So I've been to McDonald's. Afterwards, I worked at Foot Locker in sales. Yeah, I was that kind of guy. Yeah. The guy posting and doing jokes and like, I'm gonna get you shoe.
I don't even know what that looks like, but
It's
you're
me.
yeah, that's it.
It's me. I stayed 3 years. Honestly, it made me open my eyes in terms of selling.
Yeah.
I started at 17. I stopped at 20 years old. And I was there and we were paid. That's the thing that woke my head. That worked my head so much. I was working at Foot Locker, getting paid the bare minimum. It was like $13 an hour.
Okay.
But commission wise, as a sell representative, I was able to get 4% of my commission. So it was two options. You get the biggest amount that you're getting paid, or you're getting paid per hour, or you're getting 4% of your commission. So I was like, at first I was working like 35 hours. I didn't care. I was looking at the numbers. And one day I had like a week that I had to study a lot for school.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I can't do too much hours. So I was doing only late shift. I arrived like at the shift where everything was booming. Like everyone was there, like the high hours.
Yeah.
So between 6 to 8 before it closed, before 6 to 9.
Yeah.
So I was working only 3 hours a shift, and I did only 2 days this week. I sold 4,000 both days.
Wow.
So on both end, for example, and I did only 6 hours. Can you do the calculation while you have your cell phone?
Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. But what exactly am I calculating?
Okay, I'll just.
Yeah, you do the calculation.
I'll do it right away. So basically, I did 4,000 of sell, right? 0.4. So we're talking about $160.
Okay.
And 3 hours would be technically with $13 an hour was $39. So 40 plus 40, 80. And the other option, I was getting $320.
Wow.
As soon as I understood that, I was like, it's not about the time you're putting.
Yeah.
It's about how much you sell. and in terms of understanding that it's not the energy that you put, it's where you put it. So after that, I never asked more than shift than I needed. I was like, I'm working only at night hours, 3 hours, or Saturday on Sunday, and I only need 3 hours.
Yeah. 100%.
And they couldn't say nothing because I was selling, right?
Yeah.
Afterwards, as simple as that, I knew that I wanted to like basically get a job for myself and putting the time and effort on myself. So at 21, I wanted to understand finance before doing that big jump.
Okay.
I was over crypto and stuff, putting money, and thank God I bought my first triplex because of those kind of investment. I got lucky as I was starting also. But my main focus was understanding finance. So I worked at the bank for 2 years. And I learned so much about it. And as soon as I learned, I was also doing my licenses in real estate.
Okay.
And I was going to university à l'HEC de Montréal. And as soon as I had this sort of background towards it, I went literally in real estate. Literally, because I spoken to my mom and I remember she bought her first duplex at 170 and like in the next 4 years, she sold it at $500,
Oh, wow.
$500,000, like in 4 years. She did more
Amazing.
money that she's done in her whole life. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
And when I understood that, I was like, I want to do real estate.
Yeah.
Like the time is valuable. Like you the time that you put an effort in the proper amount, you get it back.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying just doing the time just to do the time, right? So that's what brought me in real estate. So I did my residential license, commercial license. I did a lot of off-plan because in Canada it's mixed a little bit. They come at you and they say, that's what I need, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You structure it, you get the infos, you get the analysis, you get the numbers, and you ensure that they get the best investment possible.
Okay.
And I did also general contractor to understand the material, what you use, because I wanted to understand what I was selling,
Yeah.
right? That's how I felt about it. And everything was going well in Canada. It decided to slow a little bit down, and I got used to like moving a lot and working a lot. And I've been in a sort of depression because I didn't feel like I used to, right? I had that. I had a lot of clients. I still had, but I felt like it wasn't moving the same way because I had, for example, I was doing a sale. My client was saying, okay, renovate the whole unit, bring you guys through. It was booming. Like, honestly, Canada was the best. I'm grateful for the knowledge I'm getting from it. Like, Canada is my country. Montreal is my hometown city. I love it. But I needed something more, you know? And why not start in a city that's so new in Dubai? Just like New York when it started.
Yeah. 100%.
So I'm here now in Dubai. I've been doing 2 months in downtown. That was my area. But understanding, like you said, there's no competition. There's so many people that were saying you have to work hard in downtown. You have to like understand the area, the towers. And I was like, it's good, I understand. But I come from I already have my background. I already have my network, and I understood that it could work for someone, but it won't work for me. And by understanding it, I understood one thing. That my network, I needed to understand what my network needed. And by understanding that, I was starting to say, you know what? Every day, I'm going to go eat at a simple restaurant. Thank you, Secret Society.
So much.
Learning the area. Learning the area, understanding the field. And I was doing every day. I decided to go to an offline project to understand the future of Dubai. Understanding, because to be honest, there's something that people don't understand often. If you go at any pinpoint of a developer and get a rep, he's gonna sell it. He's gonna make you believe. Not make you believe or dream. He understands his project.
Oh yeah,
100%. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
And he will show you good reason to put your money there.
Yeah, 100%. And I think obviously that's what it goes back to. Like, obviously, when you're an off-plan agent, you're not selling the project, you're selling Dubai, right?
Yeah.
And then you take them, the goal is to take them to the developer's office, and then the developer office will do the rest. And that's what you're saying. Like, when you get there, they know what they're talking about. So really and truly, you're not there.
That's the thing. I feel maybe it's because I'm from Canada. That's when I don't agree to it. Because you can't only come to a rep and think he's going to do the job. You're going to come, bring your client, not speak, let them do their work, prepare your client with the numbers and where you're going for him to like not feel like there's a sort of
like miscommunication.
Exactly. And you're there to filter the projects, because I'm telling you, every developer you could get, your client is gonna say, okay, that's the right place, that's the place, you're gonna put your money, okay, I'm in. But you know, it could be an easy sell. You say, yes, that's the one, bye, ciao. But your job is to filter it and say, relax. Honestly, Dubai, everywhere you're gonna go, feels like a better investment than your hometown. It's obvious.
Yeah, 100%.
But you want to tell them what's going to be the next big thing by understanding what he needs. So by sitting with your client, understand what's his vision in terms of how we see Dubai. Because we have our own vision because we're living here. But sometimes this guy is going to probably say, for example, we'll call him Michael. We'll call him Michael. So Michael is a guy that just arrived here and he wants a beachfront. He wants the yacht lifestyle, the beach club. He wants it around. And for example, on your end that what's going to bring you the best investment in terms of returns would be like maybe something else. Like you'll with his budget, you'll say maybe you'll go to Maiden, maybe you'll go to Dubai Land. It's smart, it's better. But that's not what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants a project with a marina view. So you have to understand, okay, I need to find an area coming with a new community, which involved that I'm able to give him exactly what he needs. So Michael, I would go directly to Dubai Island and find him a beachfront or a marina view.
Yeah.
That's basically it. That's how I see off plans.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Just to kind of go back on the question, because I can't remember if you actually answered the question.
Sorry.
The expectations of Dubai, do you feel like your expectations have been met in terms of what
we went far.
Yeah, you went far.
We went far.
Yeah. Do you feel like your expectations of Dubai have been met? Has it kind of over exceeded the expectation? Has it been met? Is it kind of underwhelming? What do you think?
It went. My expectation went there. It went there.
Really? That's good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I never, like, you see TikToks, you see Instagrams, and you're like, okay, the projects are basically coming, and like Dubai is in construction, it's the place to invest and stuff. But you don't realize it until you're here. Like you said previously, there's construction everywhere. Whatever you want in Dubai, you could have it. There's your place, there's your project for it. That's why I'm saying you gotta filter your client, because he could be 100%. Happy, and afterwards, once he get the handover, he's like, crap, there was this project nearby. This is exactly what I was asking. It's not because I was so happy that you need to close me there, right? Because those clients are gonna come back. We're the next brokers that's gonna take care of them in secondary.
Yeah,
that's us.
100%.
They're gonna resell it, re-rent it, and it's gonna be on us. And if they don't do business with us, we won't be able to stay in Dubai. Once the off-plan, the real estate is done in Dubai, what else are we gonna do if all our clients don't care about us and feel like they got misguided? Yeah,
it's so true. I totally agree. So honestly, I think for me, even the same. I think my expectations of Dubai were literally just like, we'll see how it goes. I was a bit like, we'll see. But honestly, being here, like, it's like, wow. I think Dubai literally, it sets the standard so high that, like, I don't know.
Do you feel okay, good. Now we're getting into it. Do you feel like Dubai is its own competition?
Yeah. So far, 100%. Dubai, they're trying to be the best of the best. They've got the Burj and they're trying to top the Burj. Like, come on. Of course, they've got like flying helicopters. So I can't really imagine.
Taxi coming.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, flying taxi.
No, it's okay. I got you.
Yes, that's what I mean. So I feel like I've not really seen any other country or city try to obviously like copy that or emulate that. It's kind of just been like its own thing. So I don't think it's literally goes back to what we were saying. It's in its own lane. Basically, like it's not really competing with anything. I don't think so.
Like you have like the biggest mall in the world, and now you're going to do the second biggest mall in the world on an island.
Yeah, exactly.
And technically, it's the biggest mall on an island if you think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now in Dubai, they're doing that.
100%.
So I'm like, okay, so you forgot about the competition. You just want to get like you did better than everyone. Yeah, and you're like, that's not enough. We did this mistake. Yeah. We'll do better.
Yeah, 100%. And I think even like just looking at Dubai as a whole, I think you literally have to give it like Dubai its flowers, when it's due, because it's one of them things like not only are they doing all of these things, but they're actually the way that they are attracting international investment through golden visas, through tax, like what we said before. It's amazing because they're not just doing all of these things to kind of glamorize and make Dubai look luxurious, but they want to attract international investments. They want people to come in and feel like this is their new home. And honestly, I think it's one of those places where people move here and think, like I'm just gonna come here for holiday, but then you stay here and realize actually I could make this my home. So the convenience, everything, I think the way they've kind of structured it makes a lot of sense in terms of they're making it easier for people to be like, okay, I'll pack my stuff and I'll move to Dubai. Yeah, so I really like that.
So I'll ask this. There's a trend in TikTok for Dubai. For example, people are filming themselves after a weekend in Dubai, 2 weeks in Dubai, and they need to go back to their hometown, and they're like crying or pissed, and they're saying like, I'm going back to my hometown, I'm not ready mentally, like Dubai brought the standards so high that it's gonna be hard for me to get back to where I was. And it's understandable because it's such a new city and they did it the best way possible. And it's not saying that coming from somewhere else is mediocre or something. It's just saying that we're talking about the future right now. It's like a new city. They did everything better. Do you feel? Did you have this feeling of, am I going to be able to go back to my hometown one day?
Oh, that's actually a good question. So I've not actually been home yet. So I've not gone since I've came. I've not been home yet.
Okay, you're answering the question right away.
Yeah. So I think I can't really say too much until I've gone home.
Okay.
But at the same time, for me, I love the UK. I love Manchester. Obviously, yeah, the weather, we can be here all day talking about weather, taxes. But honestly, I do appreciate Manchester a lot. I grew up there. Like, it is my home. So I think for me to come here and be like, no, like I'll never go back there, it will be wrong of me to do that. But honestly, I have to appreciate Dubai. Dubai is amazing. The weather is absolutely amazing. Just a tax-free income, all of these things. It has a lot to offer in terms of that. So, you know, and that's just for me, by the way. There are people that obviously don't like where they come from, or just don't like the weather. They just don't like the idea of it. They feel like they're in a cycle. So for them, I totally get it, because it can be quite depressing. If it's raining all day, and let's be honest, even in Manchester, it's like that sometimes. So it also depends. I think for me, obviously, I've had kind of like the opportunity to be around my family. Like, I'm such a family person, like we said. So having those companions in terms of like family, friends, it kind of allows me to be like, okay, maybe I don't really mind, you know, but at the same time, I love Dubai. I love everything that Dubai has to offer. And do I see myself going back home soon? No, I don't. So that's your that's
no, but you answered properly.
Yeah, that's literally my answer. So honestly, yeah, I'm not one of those people that are gonna be like, no, I'm never going back to my country. But yeah, but so far I'm good where I am, as in here in Dubai. Yeah, I'm good.
And is there something, I'll answer also to this question because I'm searching the answer. I'm not able to yet, but I'll think about it.
Okay.
Do you have something in Manchester that you don't have in Dubai, and vice versa?
The only thing I can think of is the family and friends. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Everything else, come on. You can get food delivered. Not even food. Yesterday, I went to the thread and a needle to sew my skirt, and I ordered it at 11 p.m. It came in 15 minutes. So, you know, my point is the convenience. Obviously, back home, I would have to get up out of my bed, drive to Asda, to Tesco, pick it up, come back home. But the fact that the way that Dubai is, everything is so convenient. So obviously, in terms of convenience, it cannot be compared. So the only thing that I can really think of is literally the family and friends. I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and I was saying, if I could pick up all my family and all my friends and move them to Dubai, this would be a dream. This would literally be the dream. Obviously, with time, you start to meet, you know, more friends. You start to make new relationships, all of that. So I do feel like maybe it is a time thing, and it does take getting used to.
They say in other countries they say sky is the limit, but some people here say, well, it starts from the sky. That's literally what they say. And I have a question towards it, because you were saying this family and friends, right? On my end, it's probably family, friends. You're right. Yeah. There's something that I miss so much because I'm Moroccan and Haitian. Yeah. Moroccan food, we got it here. It's not a problem. You have a lot of Moroccan. But I don't have Haitian food. Like, my Haitian people, can you come in Dubai? I swear, let Miami go and come in Dubai. Bring me some diri sauce pois, please. I need some ricolé. I need something. Talk to me nice, please. Hey, I'm having a hard time having Caribbean food in Dubai. My Caribbean people, please. Hey, look at me. I'm black and I got dreadlocks. Like, please come around.
Yeah, I do feel like, honestly, with time, it's probably something that would definitely be possible. Right? It probably is there.
I'm here. Are you telling me I'm the one that has to make it happen?
I mean, that's a gap in the market. That's a business idea. Yeah. I have a question, actually, on the subject of black people. What's the network culture like? How easy is it to meet like-minded people in Dubai?
Compared to my country?
Just
Or
in,
just in general,
just in
just in general. All
But
right,
yeah, you could compare.
but I could compare it because I used to, for example, in Canada, there's like special events
Okay.
to meet people. There's like 5 to 7 meeting and stuff. Like you meet people after work.
Yeah.
You network. In Dubai, I feel like just grabbing a coffee, being on the line, speaking to someone, you meet someone literally with a amazing background or having a background story telling you that, man, there's maybe money to be made, or you have a contact for something else in the, like, you never know.
Yeah.
Next week you'll probably need this person, or you'll encounter someone that needs him, and you just be the third party or the link.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But like I said, it's really about the data. 90% of expats. So this 90% of people coming here is trying to find a way or to make it or to make more money, right? You don't come just for fun.
You don't.
So every time you have 90% of the population that's willing to do business. Maybe not with you, but
Yeah.
they
refer you to
they
someone.
still they still need to make money.
Yeah.
They're going to bring you something.
I genuinely feel like, honestly, one thing that I've learned being here is Dubai is about value, right?
Oh, I'm listening. I like it.
Yeah, listen, honestly, it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. Like, what value can you bring
Oh,
someone?
you're making me feel bad now. You're making me feel so materialistic.
No, but genuinely, I do feel like it's kind of about value. Only the reason I say that is because, like we said, there's a lot of expats and people have obviously left their families or whatever the situation is to be in Dubai. So it's like, yeah, how can you help me and what can I do to help you? I feel like people are so open in terms of helping, and I think even when it comes down to the basis of like making friendships, I think it's being so that's what makes it easier because everyone's kind of on a similar trajectory. That people are so open. So even like you said, you can be in the line just grabbing a coffee and someone is so open, they're so willing to speak to you. So I do feel like it's so easy to meet like-minded people here compared to probably other places.
Okay, but so basically you could relate to what they live in terms of value, which create a bond towards them. That's what you meant?
No, I mean value as in like, what sort of value can you bring? Like, how can you help? So let's say if you met someone in the line and they were like, oh, like I'm looking to, I don't know, buy, I don't know, I have a friend that wants to buy real estate. Like value is like your knowledge that you bring to them about the market. You need this, you need that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, you're telling me what are you going to bring me? Basically, you always find someone that's going to bring you something.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. So literally that. I think that's one thing about Dubai. Like it's a lot of like value. And one thing as well that I've noticed, Dubai is small. So credibility here is key.
So
like once you break your credibility.
So small, but I'm surprised. It's moving so much, but you'll remember someone. If you have a bad experience, you won't forget it.
You won't forget it.
You'll talk about it like in your whole life.
100%. Yeah. So I feel like credibility is a big thing here. Like you have to make sure that your credibility is on point, because once you kind of use that credibility, word goes round. Literally, like, yeah. So
because as an expat, I'll give you, for example, we're not a lot of Canadian people. So as soon as you're doing business in Dubai and you're from Canada, the words comes around. For example, in Canada, they say, okay, this guy is in Dubai. And depending on how you're helping your clients and your people, I feel, to be honest, it will follow you towards your whole career.
100%, yeah. What's your advice? Obviously, anyone that's kind of considering moving to Dubai, I would say it's kind of two separate questions. What's your advice to anyone moving to Dubai, and your advice to anyone thinking of investing in Dubai?
Okay, for someone moving in Dubai, I would ensure that this person tells me at first, what's your work field? What are you gonna do in Dubai? Is the demand high or the demand is saturated? Because to be honest, it could work. It's not an opportunity for everyone. Also, you have to understand what you're going to do in Dubai, because Dubai is moving without you, with you or without you. So you don't want to waste your time.
Definitely.
So that what I would suggest: find a field that works. Go with an agency that recruits for work to understand if it's possible for you. Look at the income that you're gonna get. Get around brokers that are going to tell you how much it's gonna cost you in terms of rental, because we're paying in checks here. 2 checks, 3 checks, 4 checks max. People are not used to that. I had this guy. that was basically he wanted to open a garage here for cars, and he said, look, the work in Dubai is not like in Canada. I do so much better. I know I could bring my value. I was like, okay, cool. I got 20K in my hand, 20 Canadian K. I was like, what are you gonna do with that? What do you mean? It's enough. I'm able to handle the rent for the month, and I'm able to do enough money, and I could do a room. I could maintain it afterwards. I was like, no, in commercial, most of the time it's one check, so you need to be able to handle the whole year. It's not like in Canada that you just need to handle at least the 3 months, and you're able to maximize your asset by having your client coming around, right? It's not the same. You have to pay the whole year. You have to be willing to lose your whole money.
Yeah.
You need the licenses.
Yeah.
And you have to understand. And as surprised as I was like, who told you that? I won't say no name and stuff, but it's really, really important to not jump into conclusion and think it's that easy. You need to talk to people that are already here and that are surrounding with the right people, because you're gonna lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're gonna waste time, and time is money.
It's true. It's true. I mean, I would say literally the same thing. Like, honestly, to anyone that's kind of like considering the move to Dubai, first of all, you have to get your mindset in check.
Yes.
First of all, because you have to come here with a certain mindset.
Yeah.
Second of all, Dubai is an investment. I would definitely say it's an investment into yourself. Whatever you're doing, whether that's teaching, nursing, real estate, it's an investment into your future. Because I don't believe that people just come here to just be like, oh yeah, I've got up and moved to Dubai. I genuinely think people come here because they want some change for the better. So it's an investment into your future self. So you have to.
So what's the kind of investor you would see invest in Dubai then? On your question that you
I mean, first of all, so that's the first part in terms of anyone that's actually just considering moving to Dubai, not in terms of investment. You have to have like a particular mindset in terms of how you kind of see Dubai, the vision for Dubai, the vision for yourself. And then in terms of the actual investors, people that are moving to obviously there's people from literally everywhere. Like this, especially what I'm seeing at the moment, there's a lot of like Europeans. Most of my clients have been like from Europe, Germany, Spain, UK, because they're running away from the taxes, right? So that's the sort of people that are moving to Dubai. And I think of course, do your research. I think don't kind of wait until you get to Dubai to start doing your research. You can do research from before. I think you can literally do research. The thing about, Property Finder, Bayou, it can be downloaded from anywhere in the world. So all it takes is for you to kind of download these platforms to see what's happening, to see what's on the market, to see how much it costs to rent in a certain area, and just reach out. Honestly, before I even moved to Dubai, I spoke to so many people on LinkedIn. Like, I've never used LinkedIn so much prior to me like moving to Dubai, and I think that helps me. So if it can help me just by getting a job in real estate, it can definitely help you in terms of investments. There's people out there within these roles that are waiting for investors to approach them, or that will even approach you as an investor, and they will give you all the knowledge. They will help you. They'll hold your hand throughout the whole process, and they'll make everything easier for you. So I would definitely say that's the first thing. Don't try and do everything by yourself. That's what the agents are there
so
for.
Right for that, because my first week in Dubai, to get the stats, because I didn't have all my access and stuff, I was using ChatGPT to like, for example, get an approximate in terms of numbers, and you realize like every towers, every project, every different tower comes with a reason why they are able to charge this amount in terms of rental, in terms of selling. And you understand that it's about the location, yes, but it's about the view, it's about the developer, it's about the maintenance, it's about so many things that you can't take a gross stats to say, for example, okay, I'm an investor. Yeah,
well, that's exactly what I mean. So I think that's why it's really important that you need to go beyond just ChatGPT. Like, when I say research, I don't mean just doing ChatGPT. I think it's even good to reach out to someone, get on a Zoom call with someone that's in Dubai. Even if you're in China, if you're in the United States, you can actually arrange for a Zoom call. They will be on Zoom, take you to the developer's office on the Zoom call, and it's always better to have a real person-to-person experience than to have you and ChatGPT. So I definitely feel like that's probably the best thing to do in terms of research and kind of finding your feet and starting your journey in Dubai.
Look, we gotta wrap it up, but Ropa, thank you for everything. To
Thank
be
you.
honest, it
Thank
was
you.
a great first it's my first podcast in Dubai, and
More to come, inshallah.
I'm pretty glad that I did it with you, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think also the audience is gonna love knowing you. Do you have any social medias that you want to refer to people, for people to be able to reach out?
So my property page is she_sells homes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm using at the moment. Obviously on LinkedIn, I'm Ropa Rizai, which will be in the description, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put all the links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ropa. And do you have something to tell? One last sentence, one last suggestion that you want for the audience, for investors, for people that are thinking to move to Dubai. One last advice.
I said it before. I'll say it again. Research. That's
research, because you can't do nothing without data, right?
You can't. Yeah. So research. That's literally it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Ropa.
you.
All right, it's a wrap.